Hello everyone, I hope you're good guys. Today, sorry I couldn't do the live stream, so I've decided to record before a video about what I was supposed to do during the live stream. So this was the last live stream of the Dub Techno session and was about the final touch and mixing the project. So usually before to start again a session, I re-listen everything and I check and I write it down what is good, what is wrong, what I need to modify, and etc. So the main thing was to add SFX for the transition, and I wanted to was some element missing, some reverb, some treatment, of course. And another thing was I wanted to try as well to stereo a little bit the bass. And okay, we're gonna see if what all I've done. Main thing in terms of arrangement and final touch, the only thing is the SFX. I didn't change the arrangement, everything is the same. I just add key I was just here, and I add another section here because I feel it to put it again. And then the SFX. So that's a lot of SFX, I know. All of this is like kind of SFX. But the thing is, there are not really SFX. I first wanted just to do a few to help transition like I usually do. But I found out that for this kind of techno, for the techno, which is very atmospheric, very ambient, basically the SFX are mainly been created from the different kind of scent. And, you know, I create my SFX by putting them in a lot of reverb. I've made the tutorial and the rack for creating SFX. If you didn't check it. And so yes, I kind of get textural actually SFX, not really like, you see, it's more like kind of textural scent. And I pan them from the left to the right, I automate, and you know, so it's kind of in the middle between SFX and kind of scent. And yeah, quick way to show if you don't know how I create the SFX. Best thing, for example, with the chord, I'm just gonna show quickly how I create all of them. I've always used the same method. So I'm just gonna take, for example, up one chord of this. Alright. So I just take this. So I duplicate the track, just keep one chord, and then I just drop this SFX tool, and I add a lot of reverb, a long decay, a little bit of length to make it stay longer, and so like this you get this long tail. And then on the end you end up, when you freeze and flatten, I'm not gonna do it because it's gonna take too long. When you freeze and flatten, you get something like, let me check the chord one. Yeah, you get something like this. And then I cut the attack and a reverse, and you get on the end, when you put them together, something like this. So this is what I've done for almost all of the scent of my track. And I was just putting some at the beginning, and then after I say, okay, let's try to put them a little bit along the track everywhere. And so basically it's like, now it's a lot. You don't really hear them. They are like kind of in the background. If I don't tell you they are there, you don't really realize, but they really help, honestly, and they really add texture to your sound, you know. You're gonna see everything's gonna adjust. It's gonna be one and then another. See, now another is coming up, and another again, and another. So yeah, let me show you in the track. It is empty, nothing. Okay, now play again. So yeah, double function, it's helping for the transition and even adding some texture and making it sound less boring, less flat. So I really like it to do that. I was not first was no, I didn't want it really to put that many, but on the end was a good idea. So yes, that was the main thing. And with this, I've tried to stereo the bass, but first was sounding good on the headphone, and then after when I switched to the speaker, was just sounding horrible. So I've just cancelled it. I tried to add sub bass as well, but was just not sounding good. You know, I think was like frequency between the two, because I duplicate this one and I create a sub one, and the stereo was just like removing frequency or masking some frequency, and I was losing too much body of the bass and too much information. So I just decided to keep it how it was. I just put the bass in mono under 120 Hz, like usually. Just when you mix in, check you mix in mono, at least you don't have any bad surprise. Alright, so let's start. One other thing I've done, I've separated the kick. You know, I had just one drum rack with the kick here, you know, and I muted here, and I separate from the main drum rack. I'm gonna tell you why later. So then I start with the shaker. I start with to mix, like was not really mixing because most of the stuff was done, but I start with mixing the shaker. So I've add this velocity MIDI effect. It's just because the MIDI of the shaker is along the track all the same, you know. All the velocity are always the same. So a good way to add variation is, it's not really variation, but it's you see, it's like they're never gonna play at the same velocity. The main rhythm is the same, but it's changed along the track, and it's giving a more natural kind of, like if I was recording the shaker by hand manually. And same, I add frequency shifter. I think I've said it that in one of my previous tutorials. I don't remember which one, but you add LFO and it's gonna slightly change the pitch of your shaker. It's like almost inaudible, but it's still adding a little something to be less boring. And yeah, then after all this treatment was from the video before. I've made some EQ to the clap. It's nothing wow, nothing completely changing. Just I just want a bit of punch, of distortion, and to make it a bit brighter. That's all what I've done. There is not that many drums, because usually in dub techno you don't have that many drums. Just have like one hat, checker, claps, and some perk, but that is, you don't have rise, you don't have too many kind of stuff. And for the two of the perk, I didn't touch them. I didn't do any process because it was sounding good like this. So then I have this drum bus, and that's the reason why I kick out the kick, if I can say so. It's because the drum bus effect on the kick was not sounding good, you know, was modifying my kick too much. Maybe actually, if I still kept the kick, I can show you. Okay, let me. You see what's changing? I like it. This one is more like soft, round, and this one is a bit more punchy and more resonating. I don't know how to describe it, but I didn't really like it. So I just mute it and take it out, because it's just add a bit of drive to get you sound a little bit more sharper. And 30% dry wet, just a little bit effect, but I really like how it sounds, and even in the mix it's you see, it's helped your drums to cut through the mix. And yes, then so then that's why I separate the kick. To kick just a little bit of EQ here to remove the mudiness, here to add a bit of body, and here to make the kick cut through the mix a little bit more. Yeah, 3 dB and a half. Alright, then the perks, I think I haven't done nothing. They was good how they was, I already had some treatment before. Yeah, like I told you, I like to EQ and make everything right as long as I'm creating the stuff and adding element. Bass, I told you about the stereo stuff. I haven't done nothing. Chord, I just add a little bit of EQ, cut around here to cut a bit of the mudiness, and just slightly boost here. Yeah, here I boost it a little bit here because I was finding in the track was missing a little bit of frequency on this range, and I wanted the chord to do this job. So that's why I boost a little bit here. Here is just to add a little bit of clarity. Send to nothing. After in terms of EQ compression, I didn't compress or EQ nothing. I didn't really add something special because everything was sounding right to me. So now the one of the main problem that I had was, let me check. I have to pan because, for example, first these two are the main element. They are like always playing almost together, always. And these two, sorry, because the chord is always playing, and so the synth is one of the elements who is playing the most. So I've just slightly panned them. I didn't want it to be too extreme, but the chord a little bit on the left and this acid synth a little bit on the right, just to don't make them masking each other, and to leave a little bit of space in the center as well for the drums, because all of the drums except the shaker are in the center. The kick, the hats, and the claps are straight in the center, and even the perks. So that's why I've done that. And then the same after with, for example, the K high and pluck. Here they are playing together, and they are like very similar range frequencies. So to avoid to mask each other, I just put this one on the right and this one on the left. This is more drastic panning, but overall you can hear like where each synth is, the position of each synth. I really needed to put it a little bit more on the far right and far left. And this one as well in the center. This one is still in the center, and this one the same. Avoid to be too much in the center, because after you got too many information in the center and everything is masking. And then the pad, I haven't done nothing. I haven't changed nothing. Ambience, nothing. I just rename everything just to be more clear. But everything was more or less mixed already. Was just like some panning stuff to avoid frequency masking. So I think I show you everything on what I've done. I haven't done that much, honestly. Yeah, I don't know if you heard, that's exactly what I wanted to create. SFX at the first time, or in the end differently, but you see this plug SFX is helping this synth to enter. It's because this is the same synth sound, put in a lot of reverb, and then you reverse it, and you've got this aspiration effect, and it's like a very, very common technique that everyone is using. So first was just for that I was creating this SFX, but then I use them as kind of ambience sound. So yeah, sometimes you do stuff and this kind of stuff happens. Alright, I think we are good. I hope it helped you a little bit. Was not that many things to do, honestly, but yeah, the SFX was an important add to the sound. But yeah, I hope you like it, guys, and sorry again for not having live stream. Do not hesitate to like, share, comment, and thank you very much for watching. See you in 2 weeks for the next live stream, which probably is gonna be industrial techno. We're gonna go back to some hard stuff, and yeah, see you there. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.